Kryptic's gonna really enjoy this one. He comes to the line, and Kryptic wins here in Spain.
Oh, Kryptic! Big moment! Big sideways!
He's got under serious pressure now. On the inside goes Kryptic. Looks like he's alongside the Corsa driver. Down the inside he goes. Skull can do nothing of it there. CJ also sitting behind that. These two right up front. Oh, that's carried CJ.
Oh my god. Bro, this is kind of... Whoa! What the hell?
Car on the right. Clear on the right. Car on the right. Clear on the right.
Gave me that shake and bake, baby. The bottom line is we just weren't good enough as a package, mate. You know what I mean? You know what we're like? We're like a mixed bag of fruit tellers, bro. And Carl, you're the flavor that no one wants. Porsche is literally standing still, and I got to make it 3 wide, and he almost tries to push me off track, and actually caught the curb there of the exit road, but we absolutely blitzed past. Yo lads, what's good? What is good? What is going on? How we doing, mate? How we doing? What a day, eh? What a day. I watched the footy today. I'm actually going to watch the boxing later, man. I'm going to be watching that Jake Paul, Tommy Fury pathetic fight, but I'm going to watch it anyway because I like boxing. But decided to do a little, a little tier list of what I think's gonna happen for F1 this season, man. So guys, I don't know if any of you watch testing. I watched most of testing. Obviously you can't take everything literally in testing, but I think I've seen enough. I think I've seen enough to maybe put some things in place. Maybe I should put a bet on, bro. I should put a bet on to see how much this I get right, bro. JR said Mercedes obviously winning. You think? We shall see. I know you hope. I know you hope, son. I know the hope's there, bro. I know the hope's there, but the hope that kills you, man. It's the hope that kills you, bro. I mean, the Mercedes looks nice. I'll give it that. But we shall see. We shall see, guys. Your Merc hope ain't like Arsenal's hope, bro. Arsenal, we're actually top, mate. You know what I mean? We're actually been at the top, lad. You know what I mean? Unlike that, listen, we're winning the league, JR. I'm telling you, we're winning the league, mate. Who's gonna stop us? What? City? Who's stopping us? City? No chance, mate. We're winning the league, right? Just don't worry. I will let you touch the winner's medal. I'll let you touch the winner's medal. Know what I mean? You think I'm not gonna troll. I'm gonna be dead serious, bro. I'm gonna be like dead serious. Flames and fuel. Right now, you know it is, JR. It's good. The reality is gonna hit. The reality is here. Me. I'm the reality, bro. Man. By the way, telling ya, mad fight. That ain't gonna be mad fights, bro. In fact, I want there to be. There should be mad fights. You know, people got to stick up for their teams and their drivers, bro. Stick up for your teams. I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna be honest and say what I think's gonna happen, even though, if it was my preference, honestly, Leclerc would win the title, bro. You know what I mean? That's what I'd like to happen. Do I think it's gonna happen? I don't think so, man. I don't think so. But we'll get into it, man. Where's my tier list anyway? Sheesh. By the way, I didn't actually create this tier list. Someone already did it themselves, so in fact it made it much easier, bro. Have I seen Mercedes fans? Bro, Mercedes fans is quiet right now. Well, actually, no. I've seen a few that think maybe, you know, they think Mercedes might be sandbagging. I personally don't believe that sandbagging is worth it anymore with only 3 days of testing. I believe you have to show a little bit of your, you know, you have to test the car because you just don't have a lot of time. You know what I mean? So sandbagging, I think, to a certain extent, yeah, but most teams are going to be doing exactly the same thing. You know what I mean? So. No, I don't think Merc can afford to sandbag, man, at all. I don't think any team can afford to sandbag anymore. Like, unless you're like so confidently like in front, what's the point in sandbagging? You're holding back yourself and possibly finding out where the car's weaknesses are. You know what I mean? So I don't subscribe to all this sandbagging. Not like it was back in the day, like 2015, 16, where they knew they had a massive advantage. You know, so I don't see that. But anyway, we shall see what this is saying. Let me just move this over here. And see how close my predictions are to your predictions. So I think so. Obviously, I didn't make this tier list, so this is the last 5 drivers. So I'm gonna put in Logan Sargent. I think he's going to finish last just because he's the least experienced driver in probably the worst team. So, you know, it's natural to expect him to be struggling. I think he will struggle, man. Will he be as bad as Latifi? I don't know. But, I mean, he's going up against Albon. Albon's going to destroy this kid. But again, he's a, you know, it's his first season, so I'm not expecting anything crazy from Logan Sargent. I didn't think he was, you know, a real standout driver anyway in F2. I thought he was okay, but we shall see, man. Albon, yeah, I could see Albon getting points. He's a good driver. So it's tough. Who else am I going to put in the bottom 5? I actually think De Vries is going to outscore Tsunoda. I'm going to put Tsunoda in the bottom 5. Switch that out. AlphaTauri didn't look that good, man. I ain't going to lie. Drogovic. Do you know what? Drogovic, right? I don't think Drogovic is all that. I know he won the championship by being consistent, but a lot of the time he wasn't the fastest, man. Like on raw pace, like for me, like standout drivers to me are the drivers that came through the categories and just had the raw pace that no one could match. Like Hamilton, Verstappen in Carton was a joke. Leclerc's raw pace was a joke. You know what I mean? Piastri's raw pace was a joke. Lando Norris, you know what I mean? Even Russell. But like, some of these other guys didn't have like crazy raw pace, bro. Yeah, Dragovic, it was slap Logan. I thought you meant in place of like Tsunoda or something. But he's signed to Aston, so I think he's better off waiting for his shot there, you know. Tsunoda, I think De Vries might score a few points, you know. But it depends like where the cars are, man. Like for me, the AlphaTauri didn't look that great either, you know. Obviously the Williams ain't gonna be great, so I'm gonna put Albon up there as well. Where is he? I think De Vries will outscore Tsunoda. No bullshit. I genuinely think that. In fact, I think De Vries will probably outscore Wang Yu Zhao as well. I'll put him there. And I'll put De Vries there if I can swap him. Something like that would be my bottom 5, bro. I'm not convinced by Yuki Tsunoda, I'm not gonna lie. I don't think he's all that. What do I think of Alonso and Aston, bro? Listen, from what I can see, all right, Aston look faster than Mercedes, bro. At least in the race runs. You know what I mean? Like they genuinely look fast. Like if you actually look at the race runs, Aston were actually faster than Ferrari, bro. That's crazy. But like, apparently in the paddock, a lot of people have been talking about how fast Aston Martin are. So I don't know exactly where they are, but I feel like maybe at the beginning of the season, I feel like they might. Well, I feel like Alonso at the beginning of the season, he's gonna be in around sort of 4th and 5th place, man. I'm not gonna lie. And then maybe I think Mercedes will outdevelop Aston Martin, and then I feel like you see, you know, Mercedes get back ahead. But when I was watching the cars, like again, like out of the top, let's say top 4 teams now, right? Red Bull, Ferrari, Mercedes, Aston Martin. And the Mercedes looked like the one that was a bit of a handful, like, you know, out of corners, back end stepping out all over the place. They seemed better when they was on the softer tires, but on the harder tires, bro, it looked like hard to drive, you know. But let's go next 4 drivers. I think Alonso the best in the grid. I think maybe 3 or 4 years ago, I think Alonso was the best on the grid. I don't think like now, I don't think I think in terms of like intelligence and strategies and just cleverness and stuff like that, I think Alonso is like IQ wise, he's right up there. But I think he's probably lost a little bit of the edge that he had like back in the day, you know? Nah, bro, that sandbagging talk is listen, look at testing last season. After testing last season, we could all see Ferrari were rapid, we could all see Red Bull were rapid, and everyone said Mercedes were struggling. Then we got to the first race and exactly the same thing happened, you know? They've only got 3 days of testing. The first race is at the same track. I don't think that they can't afford to sandbag. Sandbag for what? You know what I mean? Why are you sandbagging? Like, most of the teams know half the data already. You know what I mean? Exactly. Everyone was faster than last year's cars, even though they're supposed to have lost half a second with their changes. But from what I could see, I look a lot at the just the behavior of the cars, bro. And when I see cars that look hard to drive or difficult to drive, I know that's a sign for they're gonna have problems when it comes to a race weekend, you know. Like the Alpha Tauri, bro, it had so much understeer. It was like, nah, that car's gonna be terrible. It's got way too much understeer. You know what I mean? And you can say, okay, maybe they're running heavy fuel, but every car at some stage ran heavy fuel. And I didn't see many cars that looked like it didn't want to turn as much as that thing. That car did not want to turn at all. No, McLaren are another one that don't look great, man. I'm not gonna lie. But let's move on for the next drivers. Bro, it's hard, but I'm gonna put Bottas in here. Piastri's first season, I'm not sure where Alpine are either. Alpine have been quite tricky. Haas have looked decent, but I'd back Alpine to get ahead of Haas by the end. Maybe Piastri. I see Piastri outscoring Bottas. Gasly and Ocon. I actually think it's going to be so close. Will Hulkenberg outscore Magnussen? Hulkenberg's is an unlucky guy, so it's another tough one. I've got a feeling that Gasly's not going to do that well. I don't know if it's just me. I've got a feeling that Gasly's not going to do that well when it comes to the transition into a new car. Because he was at Red Bull, he destroyed it. Well, no, he got destroyed at Red Bull. Had a poor season, went to AlphaTauri, did good at AlphaTauri, but in the second season, he was, you know, he weren't really nothing special in the second season. I'm not gonna lie. I'm thinking, I don't know if Gasly's gonna do that well. I think him and Ocon, I'm not too sure about that as a partnership. I can see that being a struggle. Gasly. Now we'll go for Alpine. Alpine should outdevelop Haas, and Hulkenberg's coming back. So I think Hulkenberg's too unlucky. I think he'll end up behind Magnussen. I hope Piastri does do better. But I actually think Ocon will outscore Gasly. I think Ocon will outscore Gasly. It's his team at the moment. Might be close. And I'm going to throw Norris in here as well. And I might Lance Stroll might miss some races, bro. Lance Stroll might miss some races. I might slap him behind Ocon just because Stroll's not consistent, bro. Just because of Stroll's lack of consistency, I can see him even in a good car just messing up totally. 7th, 6th, 5th, and 4th. Okay. 7th. I'm actually gonna go with Russell, bro. I don't think Hamilton will let him beat him twice. Put it that way. I can't. If Russell beats Hamilton again, I can't see it personally. But yeah. I don't know. No. I think Mercedes will outdevelop Aston. I'm lying right now. I think Mercedes will outdevelop Aston. I think Russell will finish ahead of Alonso. I think Sainz. Will Mercedes outdevelop Ferrari? That's a tough one. I think it depends how far they are behind. Russell or Sainz? I actually rate Russell higher than Sainz. It just depends on whether Ferrari've got the better car or not. Do you know what? No, I'm keeping that. I'm keeping that. You see, to me, again, it depends how close Mercedes are to the Red Bulls. If Red Bull turn up to the first 5-6 races and actually just mollywop everybody for 6 races before the other teams get big upgrades and start catching up, it's going to be very hard for them to close the gap in the championship. I know Perez has these moments where he'll have the car, but he just doesn't deliver, you know. But I actually think Red Bull have probably got just as big of an advantage they had last season, with an easier car to drive and the weight down. They should theoretically, you know. I'm gonna do this, bro. I think Red Bull are gonna get their first ever 1-2. Even though Leclerc for me is way better than Perez, bro. Hamilton's way better than Perez. So is Russell. I think Perez and Sainz are like similar level to me. I even think Alonso's better than Perez and Sainz, to be honest. But I think it comes down to what car you got, you know. And the only reason why I was going to put Hamilton in third in front of Leclerc, but history tells me if Hamilton's not in one of the top cars, he tends not to be as interested by the end, you know. He tends to get a little bit disappointed with the team when he knows they're not giving him the tools. And that's why if you look back over his career, a lot of the time where he hasn't been in a car that can really fight for the championship, he never really tends to get a top 3. So I'll put him 4th. I think is that Stroll really should be finishing in front of Ocon and them, but he's got broken wrists. I think Norris might have Gasly. I think Norris has been good, man. He's been good. No. We'll do this only because the McLaren looks bad, bro. It looks slow. Should I move Piastri up 1? Crazy thing is, I rate Hülkenberg higher than Ocon, Gasly, Magnussen. I think Hülkenberg's better than all them guys, but he's been out of the sport, man. And he's an unlucky driver. I'm thinking this. Low-key, bro. I feel like if Leclerc, how's Stroll above Bottas? Because Stroll's in an Aston Martin and Bottas is in an AlphaTauri. This ain't on ability. This is on where I think they're going to finish the season. You know? No, sorry. Bottas is in an Alfa Romeo, bro. Like, he's not doing nothing in that car. Let's be honest. Nothing. They were only good last season because they're... Man can't even ride a bike. I heard that. But yeah, Alfa Romeo, they were good last season when their car was like the only car that was on the weight limit, right? And then when people started reducing their weight, they just got smoked. So I don't see them being as good this season. Do I really think Tsunoda's going to finish second last in the championship? Maybe not. No. I don't think. I think he might grab a few more points than that. Yeah. Because I forget. Yo, Nico. I forget, even though I think Albon is probably De Vries level, his car is just crap. You know? And this is my prediction. This is my prediction for this year's championship, bro. I'm telling you, what I want to say, let me talk to the Mercedes fans right now. Let me speak to the Mercedes fans. You see, you lot, yeah? You lot need to get in contact with Toto Wolff, yeah, and tell him you want money for your merch back, because they're defrauding the system, mate. Bro, I will break down how Mercedes are defrauding. Mercedes are cheating you lot, bro. They're lying to you lot. Yeah, like I rate the freeze. This is like the AlphaTauri just looks rubbish, bro. It looks rubbish in testing. You know what I mean? It's like so much understeer. It's a joke. Chelsea are light work, bro. Chelsea are easy. How you spend 600 million to not be able to score a goal is generally amusing me. Maybe the freeze ahead of Bottas, maybe. Yeah, I could do that. I could do that. I don't even rate Bottas like that, bro. I told you lot time ago. I don't rate Bottas like that. Even like a good chunk of last season, Zhao was beating him. Hey, Bowley was looking like sheesh. I need a refund on some of these guys, bro. Nah. AlphaTauri don't look good, and Alfa Romeo, bro, they're not the only car that's got a lightweight chassis now. So, and their drivers are not the, you know, they haven't got like a real top driver, in my opinion. They got drivers that are just happy to be in F1. So even like Ocon, yeah, Ocon isn't the best, but you know that you don't have it. You know what I mean? You're not just gonna roll up on Ocon and throw it down inside. He's not gonna have it. Whereas I don't see that with like Bottas, bro. Maybe at the start of the season, but this is like the season as a whole, and I feel like in terms of like development, I believe that McLaren can outdevelop AlphaTauri and Alfa Romeo comfortably. Nah, I seen a Ferrari long run pace, bro. Unfortunately, bro, their tires are dying, fam. That's the problem. Like last season, where Ferrari were good, as Ferrari were rapid over one lap, but they don't look as fast over one lap, and their race runs were honestly not. Their race runs were slower than Aston Martin, bro. Like they've got huge tire degradation now. Like what is this? They're supposed to fix that. If they didn't have bad tire degradation, I feel like they'll be much higher up. But I feel like Ferrari developed their car too slow, and I just don't trust them. I don't trust Ferrari, bro. I like the Fred Vasseur appointment, but I don't trust Ferrari. Bro, listen. It's taken a lot for me not to put Alonso higher, judging by the long run pace in testing, bro. That 18 lap run that Alonso did or whatever, and he kept his lap times within like 3 tenths, and they were all, bro, he was faster than Ferrari. He was faster than Mercedes and Ferrari. That's why when they asked Adrian Newey who he thinks that Red Bull need to look out for, the first team he said was Aston Martin, because Aston Martin have got Newey's old right hand man, you know. And if you look at the side profile of Aston Martin, is very similar to the Red Bull. So that Dan Fellows guy who they got from Red Bull, obviously, has come in with a lot of stuff that Red Bull probably got on their car as well. Yeah, nah, they ain't got the bathtub side pods anymore, bro. Their side pods look like Red Bulls now. I wonder if I can get an image. Let me type up the Red Bull and Red Bull Aston comparison. See if we can see any. Look at this. I'm telling you, look at this, bro. Is it me, or is there some similarities going on here? Bearing in mind, Aston Martin do now have, as I said, Adrian Newey's right-hand man. So it's no surprise that they're very, very similar, like very similar in shape. And they're fast. They're genuinely fast, bro. Got the same like underwash section underneath the side pod here. Red Bull's one probably looks a little bit more sleek, but still, you know. And that's why I'm kind of surprised that Mercedes have stayed with the route they've gone, you know, especially when they were having such balance issues. They're already complaining about balance issues with this car. You know what I mean? Crazy. But yeah, what I was gonna say, guys. Let me turn off the music for this one. I want to talk to the Mercedes fans, bro. I want to talk to the Mercedes fans after the years of domination. Hey, how you feeling about this, bro? After how 2021 ended, when Mercedes should have been coming for some get back. You know what I mean? Because they got shafted out of a title, yeah? So, how are you lot feeling, bro? Tell me how you lot are feeling about Mercedes right now. Because I might drop the bombs on you lot, lads. I might have to. I'm gonna give you lot something to think about. You might not like it, but it's kind of true. All I'm saying, yeah, is if you look at it, right, you take that, if you go back from before the hybrid era, right, let's remember, as I think I've said before, Mercedes started building their V6 hybrid era in 2007, right? So obviously in 2007, they weren't a manufacturer, they were just an engine supplier. So they didn't have to worry about building a car, nothing. They could just focus on spending as much money as they wanted, building a hybrid engine. This is before hybrids were even coming in. And then when F1 finally had the meeting to decide what direction they were going in 2010 or 11 or whenever it was, they said, basically Mercedes said, well, we want to go to hybrid engines or we're pulling out of the sport. And then F1 decided they're going to go the hybrid route or whatnot. It was the future. De Montezemolo, the Ferrari president, he knew about it. And he said he wanted to veto it because he knew that Mercedes would be well ahead in their development because they'd already been doing it for like 2-3 years or whatever. But he didn't want to be the guy to stand in the way of innovation, right? So he decided not to veto the new engine. So obviously, when Mercedes rocked up in 2014, their engine was like 2-3 seasons more advanced than everybody else's. If you remember 2014, Williams was second fastest, bro. Williams were like smacking Red Bull and that. Like if you had a Mercedes engine in the first year of the hybrid, I think didn't McLaren finish like second? Magnussen got like a podium like straight away. You know what I mean? If you had a Mercedes engine in a hybrid, the first season of the hybrid era, you were laughing, mate. All the other guys were breaking down. Remember testing, Mercedes was just doing lap after lap after lap and everybody else was just breaking down and shit. You know what I mean? And it took, realistically, till 2021 for the other engines to get close. And even then, whenever Mercedes had a fresh engine, you could clearly see it still retained a little bit of an advantage in terms of power, you know? And I'm just saying, all them years when like 2014, 15, 16, all them years when Mercedes were just destroying every race and that, no one ever stopped to think about, is their chassis actually good? Because they had such an engine power advantage, no one ever thought, I wonder if their chassis is any good. You know what I mean? All them races where Red Bull could get close to them like in like 2015 and 2016, like fucking Hungary or Monaco, all them races like that, where Red Bull could get close to them. We should have been saying, well, how are Red Bull even close to these lot, considering they've got a considerable engine advantage? That's because their chassis wasn't as good as what we thought. You know what I mean? The Mercedes chassis had flaws in it, bro. Struggled whenever it was hot. It would struggle at Singapore. They would get beat at like Malaysia because it was hot. You know what I mean? These were signs that no one saw. Cool. Apart from the DAS system, which was a mechanical system, right? What innovation did Mercedes actually bring, bro? Because in 2017, it was Ferrari that brought all the technical stuff with the side pods and the winglets with the behind the wing mirrors and all that aero stuff on the wing mirrors. Ferrari brought that. That stuff is still here. Red Bull were the ones who brought the high rate concept, which most of the grid followed, apart from really Mercedes. But as I said, Mercedes maintained a power advantage, so a lot of that stuff masked the aero. I do think they did create some good aero cars, like the 2020 car I think was solid, right? But I still think, like, even in 2020, they clearly had a big engine advantage, right? And I say all that because if we go back to before Formula One was like a engine driven sport, it was more about aero, and this is like before the hybrid era. Where were Mercedes then? Mercedes in 2010, 11, 12, 13 are exactly where they are now, bro. Third best at best, you know, or even fourth best. Mercedes in 2010, car wasn't great. Mercedes in 2011, they'll be good at one or two tracks, but kill tires. Car wasn't great. 2012, the same. 2013, it was a bit better over one lap, but in the races, it killed his tires. Now, in 2022, when everything got reset, all the engines were pretty close. Where were Mercedes again? They've literally gone back to where they were before the hybrid era, bro. And that, in my opinion, that's because they haven't got the head start that they had before. You know what I mean? Most people don't know that Mercedes had a head start, but they did have a head start in terms of their engine development. And I think all that engine development, it masked a lot of the stuff with the chassis and stuff. And now it's gone, and now they're having to build a chassis, bro. They failed in 2022, let's be honest. And this season, from testing so far, it don't look great. You know, their car looks decent, but it doesn't look like spectacular in terms of its performance. And I'm not even going off of the times. I'm going off of the eye test, bro. I'm going off of seeing Hamilton shifting up into fourth gear and the back end still trying to come round on the guy. You know what I mean? That's all crazy, bro. And then they had this weird thing with the front axle and they couldn't explain it and all this shit. Like, what's going on, mate? Like, what's going on? You're Mercedes. You're the 8-time champs and all that. But like I said, no head start. You know, if you think about it, if you have a head start in engine development, and you can build an engine sort of 3 or 4 years in advance of everybody else, and you've got all them years to, you know, maximize the engine potential, everybody else has got to catch up to you, and then you can spend time getting your chassis right while other people have got to focus on upgrading the engine and stuff like that. They can just purely focus on the chassis side of things. Not to mention how much money Mercedes spent compared to everybody else in that hybrid era before this cost cap came in. Mercedes were outspending everybody else by like 100 million, bro. So it's not a surprise they stayed on top of the game. Now you can't outspend. Well, Red Bull did. Red Bull did it somehow. But you can't substantially outspend anybody else. You kind of have to, you're going to have to develop a good car from the beginning, otherwise you're always going to be playing catch up. There's no actual way to really just massively catch up, you know what I mean? And now I think you're seeing that Mercedes chassis were, I wouldn't say they were, I don't think they were as advanced as what people thought because of how good their engine was. I think their engine covered up a lot of stuff. You know what I mean? And now look. now look, bro. As soon as they started from a a flat platform and everyone starting from the same base, they've not been able to do nothing. They're getting outdone by Ferrari. Now, as a team, strategy-wise, I still think Mercedes are up there, you know? I still think Mercedes are up there as a team and knowing how to win. I still think they're up there, but there's definitely, they need to hire some new people. I'm telling you, bro. That James Allison, bro, he's a fraud. That guy's a fraud. You know what I mean? Paddy Lowe created the Mercedes. Well, Paddy Lowe designed the first few Mercedes. And then when did he get replaced? Like 2017 or wherever it was. And then all James Allison's done before 2021 is made an evolution of the chassis that fucking Paddy Lowe had made. You know what I mean? As soon as he had to build his own chassis, bruv, he's failed. As soon as he has to build a chassis from like zero, like a whole new chassis, he has failed, bro. Get him out of there. Like, he's frauding it, mate. Get him out of there. I think we'd all like to see like a three-way title fight. But I just believe that James Allison, I don't think he's doing his job. I think Mercedes have had the most powerful engine for a long time, and they might have neglected their chassis building side. I think they need to hire some new people. Plus, they lost a lot of staff as well. They lost a lot of staff to Red Bull and to Aston Martin. So, I don't know. As for Ferrari, bro, I said it before. They need to diversify their team to get the best out of what they have. Because there's just, I feel like there's too much pressure on Ferrari. Way too much pressure. They actually had a good car last season. Too much pressure. I'll be real. They need to stop with the dodgy, Ferrari needs to stop with the dodgy interpretations, because whenever there's something slightly dodgy going on, it's always involving Ferrari. And whenever they get told to stop, it always hinders Ferrari. So clearly they're doing something they're not supposed to do. You know what I mean? Like, they changed the floor last season or whatever, the flexing floors or whatever it was, and instantly Ferrari died. Instantly. Do you know what I mean? So, yeah, I feel like Ferrari just got to do stuff by the book, man. And hopefully, that's going to help them get close. But I think they need a much better strategic team. Apparently, they've changed some of that. So, hopefully, they have improved in that segment. But I don't know, man. I used to trust Ferrari so much back in the day, but now I can't trust them no more, bro. No more. I used to love this team, but now they piss me off. Like, Ferrari actually get me mad. I'm watching races and I'm just like, bro, how are you just dumb? How? You know what I mean? How is it possible everyone else can see it and you can't see it? Like, the amount of times last season I feel like they screwed over Leclerc, I was sick. I was done. Like, I was going into races just not even caring what Ferrari do anymore, because I just know that they're just going to throw everything away. And that's what ended up happening. Leclerc managed to get second in the championship, but for the most part, he got screwed over, innit? But Red Bull, I feel like they probably nailed it. Obviously, Adrian Newey's just the guy, innit? So they probably nailed it. Plus, they've got Verstappen. Hopefully, Perez can step up this season, because I feel like he's too, especially like Perez will be fast in a race, and then he will get overtaken, and all of a sudden his pace is gone. Like, how? Look at Saudi last season. He was rapid, and then he lost out in the safety car, and all of a sudden all his pace just died. It's like, what? How? You know? I feel like Alonso is going to be a thorn in the sides of Hamilton and Russell and Sainz. I feel like Leclerc might be a little too fast, but Hamilton, Russell and Sainz, Alonso is going to be on them at the start of the season. Watch. I'm telling you. Alonso is going to... I might even predict Alonso to come 4th place, first race of the season, bro. No bullshit. As for McLaren, McLaren are lost, in my opinion. They're lost. They need to get rid of that stupid livery as well. I can't stand it. It makes me sick. Get rid of that livery. Go back to the black and silver. Don't care. Go back. Okay? Do something, mate. I can't stand this livery. It's terrible. Other than that, Aston Martin should do well. I'm looking forward to seeing Aston Martin. I'm so sad Vettel chose the time to retire when Aston are actually coming good. Sad. I don't really care about Alpine. I just don't. Same with Haas. Same with the other teams. I don't really care about them. Because I know they're just hair to be hair, you know? Yeah, like how, bro? I grew up like with McLaren genuinely as a rival. You know what I mean? And to be honest, ever since the hybrid era, they've died. McLaren as a team, since the hybrid era, have actually just died, bro. In fact, you could say they started dying in 2013, realistically. But a decent guy, bro. Listen, this whole nice guy stuff, bro. It's not for me. You know, you gotta be a bastard, mate. Got to be. You want to make like there's a lot of decent guys, nice guys in F1. Perez is a nice guy, but I don't mean shit. You gotta be a bastard, bro. You have to be. You have to be so cut. Like Lando Norris comes across as a nice guy, but when you actually talk to him and ask him, like when they asked him, "Do you feel sorry for Daniel Ricciardo for losing?" Nope, he didn't perform. He's got a little bit of that bastard about him. Do you know what I mean? Even Ocon. If you look at a lot of the guys who have got that sort of, that little bit of grit, a lot of these guys have won races, bro. Like Ocon won a race he probably should never have. You know what I mean? You got to have a bit of that, you know what I mean? A bit of that nasty streak, mate. No, you need it. You need it. You need to be mean, bro. One Pablo Montoya. Everyone else was all nice until that guy came in. You know what I mean? He wasn't having it from Schumacher. And I'm a Schumacher fan, bro. But I had to respect Montoya. He didn't have it. He did not have a bar of it when it came to Schumacher. That's why when they raced, it was, you know what I mean? It was feisty. You know what I mean? All the niceties and stuff like that, them guys, they don't win championships, bro. Yeah, Montoya was a tank, bro. He didn't play no games, bro. That's what you need. You can't be nice. Nice guys don't last in F1. Or they don't last at the front anyway. You know what I mean? Bottas was so nice at Mercedes. He was a nice guy. Look at him now. Look, what did they do? They chose Russell. As soon as they had a decision to make, Bottas was out of there, mate. You know what I mean? That's what happens when you're the nice guy. You get left in the teams at the back getting lapped and shit. You know what I mean? When Vettel was savage, no one liked the guy. When he was at Red Bull, he was savage. And everyone used to, I can't stand Sebastian Vettel. When people started to like him, that's when you should have known he lost his edge, mate. People started to like him when he wasn't competitive no more. That tells you everything you need to know. You know what I mean? Everything you need to know about competition in F1. If they like you, it's because they don't fear you. If you're liked by everybody, no one sees you as a threat. You know what I mean? The only person who is liked and a savage is Leclerc. You know what I mean? Leclerc generally is liked by everybody, but people know he doesn't play no games, bro. Like Leclerc he's aggressive too. Like Max has a big fan base, but he also has a massive base of fans that don't like him. Same with Lewis. You know what I mean? There's a lot of people that don't like Russell. But to be truthful, I only think the people that don't like Russell are probably Lewis Hamilton fans. So I think they don't like Russell that much because he's a bit more of a challenge than that. You know what I mean? I'm just saying. I'm just saying. All right. Sainz, again, most people like Sainz. He's a nice guy. How many people think Sainz is winning the championship? It's not gonna happen, mate. Not happening. So let's see, man. But yeah, guys, that's my prediction. I'm gonna come back to this after the season's finished. I feel like I'm gonna be right, bro. I feel like I've got it pretty spot on. Who's gonna tell me no? I feel like I got it spot on. What would you lot change, if anything? I feel like it's there. I feel like if Mercedes is saying they're not gonna be really competitive until like the 6th race of the season, and I don't trust them either, bro. Merc 2-3, I don't see that, bro. They don't look quick enough to me. They don't look quick enough, and they don't look confident the way our Toto Wolff is talking. But I don't trust Merc after last season, bro. Because now they did way too much. Every single time they had an upgrade, they were talking like they're gonna be back. You know what I mean? And they were just lying, bro. You think it'll be McLaren for a few races until they further develop the car? You think Williams in front of McLaren? No, I don't know about that one, bro. I don't think McLaren are down that bad. I think, because this is my prediction for the whole season, not for the first race of the season. This is my prediction for the whole season. So even if they do start off behind, I feel like by the end of the season, this is probably going to be the championship standings, bro. Maybe I just can't see a world where McLaren genuinely develop a worse car than Williams, bro. You know what I mean? I can't see it. Like, surely not. Well, if they, bro, McLaren are finished, bro. I'm not gonna lie, they're finished. They're done. They're dusted, bro. I feel like McLaren are dusted, bro. What happened to McLaren? What happened to McLaren? Why are we having to see Red Bull why are we having to see Red Bull fight Ferrari? Bro, it should be McLaren versus Ferrari like it was back in the day. You know what I mean? The glory days back. That's what I should be seeing, bro. Instead we're seeing Red Bull. Like, how are Aston Martin developing faster than McLaren? You know how crazy that is? All the classic teams are shitting themselves. McLaren, Williams at the back. Bro, I grew up supporting Williams, bro. Williams was the first team I started supporting just because when I first started watching F1, I didn't like Schumacher. And that's because, do you know what it is? I'll be honest, the English media, yeah, I'm telling you, British media in sport, when you're young, they have such an influence over you. They made me dislike Schumacher just because he was German, and they didn't like Germans because Germany beat England in Euro 96 and shit. So because of football, when the history between England and Germany in football, every time there's an Englishman going up against a German, they make you dislike the German side of things. They make you just support the English guy. You know what I mean? And I had to learn myself that, but hold on a second, Damon Hill's not that good. Like, the Schumacher guy is pissing on this guy. Like, I think it was a race I watched in 95. Was it 94 or 95? I think it was 95. When Schumacher was on a wet track at Spa with dry tyres, and Damon Hill was on a wet track with wet tyres, and Damon Hill could not get past Schumacher, bro. After that, I was like, mate, I don't know about this Damon Hill guy. They've been lying to me all along. Schumacher's way better. And then when Schumacher went to Ferrari, and then I saw some of his performances, that's what made me a fan. I was like, bro, this guy doesn't even have to win. But the fact that he's driving this car and he's still competing, like, it made me a fan of him. You know what I mean? And that's what it was. It's not just about the wins, it's about what they're doing with the equipment. Damon Hill, I like Damon Hill more when he was driving for Arrows, bro. Like, some of his performances for Arrows were respectable. But at Williams, bro, I was like, bruv, this guy should be smoking it. Williams is actually a better car. But the Williams livery is like iconic. You know, all them liveries were just quality back then, bro. I don't know about these liveries. Actually, Mercedes livery is nice, bro. I like the black Mercedes. They shouldn't go back to silver. It looks shit. McLaren should just go back. Like, McLaren have had way too many good liveries to have this livery right now. McLaren have had way too many iconic liveries to be using this crappy livery, bro. They've had at least 3 liveries that I would consider the best liveries in F1 history. You know what I mean? They had the Kimi Räikkönen livery, the Senna Marlboro red and white, and the Lewis Hamilton, the chrome McLaren, bro. You can't beat You cannot beat them 3 liveries. The West McLaren Raikkonen livery. Sheesh, oi. Even, bro, I'm not gonna lie, that 2007 livery was buff. And McLaren used to bring out some sexy looking cars, man. I'm telling you. Now, like, what? It's trash, bro. Their liveries are terrible now. Like, what's going on? Like, nah, go back to the silver and black, mate. This is not cutting it. Go back to the chrome. I doubt they will now because the paint's probably too heavy, but yeah, that's what I'd be rocking. I do actually like the AlphaTauri livery. I think it's kind of nice. Ferrari's just Ferrari. Red Bull's boring. I quite like Aston Martin's livery a bit, and I don't like anybody else's. You know, don't really like anybody else's. Like, anyway, guys, I'm gonna get off because I want to go watch the boxing. Tommy Fury, if there is a god, please put this dude in his place, bro. I swear, if Tommy Fury loses this fight, bro, I swear to God, like, he should genuinely never box again. Like, genuinely, like, never box ever again. If he loses to Jake Paul, I swear. Anyway, guys, that is it. Jake Paul and Tommy Fury, bro. I have to watch it. Someone's got to shut him up. Somebody's got to shut him up, bro. Well, Tommy Fury is the first actual boxer that Jake Paul's fighting, so. But I don't trust Tommy Fury, mate. He's too much of a pretty boy. You know what I mean? He looks too big. Like he's in the gym, but he's not working on his boxing skills. So let's see, man. Let's see. Anyway, guys, take care. And I shall be back this week. Peace.